first got into advertising, I was a junior copywriter at an agency up in Milwaukee, Kramer Crassel, and I'm sitting in this huge conference room. And there are all these VPs and the CEOs in the room, his partners there, and they're all doing this presentation for a nonprofit. And I'm the only black person in the room, and I'm the only junior creative in the room. So I found a corner, and I'm sitting in that corner, and they're talking about Black and Hispanic parents, how they don't care for their kids because they don't come to PTA meetings and they don't do the after school counseling and all of this. And I'm getting irate, but I'm not saying anything because I'm a junior. My boss, Paul Counsel, looks at me with a stern look and he goes, "Speak your mind." He says, "Tell them what you're thinking or I'm firing your ass right here, right now." Fear just, boom. And I went on to tell him, look, in not so nice terms, I lost my mind sort of, which is a Derek Walker trait. And I went off about, look, do you think black parents don't care about their children? Milwaukee's a working class city. PTAs are at 6 o'clock. That's when most second and third shift people are either getting sleep or trying to get themselves together to go to work. So it's not that they don't care. And I go on and I tell them, look, come into my church on Sunday morning, stand up and say the stuff you said here in this meeting and see if you can't walk out in one piece. And after I said everything, Paul looks at me, he says, never hold your voice. He says, never silence yourself. Always speak what you know to be true. I didn't speak at first because I was afraid. And we do that in the advertising industry every freaking day with clients. Our fear of clients firing us have caused us to accept unreasonable deadlines, unreasonable budgets. We allow them to see our profit and tell us how much money we should be making. Imagine that. Someone else is telling us how much profit we should make because we're too afraid to stand up and protect our own business. They tell us how many people should be working on a project or an assignment. Actually, they tell us how much we should pay each other. Tell me that's not madness, because it's fear. And think about what that fear does to an ad agency or does to a marketing firm. What it's led to is consultancies coming in who aren't afraid to own what they're worth, aren't afraid to define their boundaries and what the services are they're going to provide, aren't afraid to say, this is how much we are going to make off of this. And in the meantime, we're stuck in the whole what if. Well, what if we do this, then we're going to scare the clients and we aren't going to be out of business. Well, you know what? Are we really living anyway? We're pretty much a shadow of ourselves now. I know some of you are thinking, oh no, I'm brave and all this. No, you're not. If you were, then advertising wouldn't be in the condition it is in today. But yet and still we walk around here in fear and justify never giving the client better, never pushing the client to be better, never challenging our people to step out and do brave and amazing work, not because of awards, but because the brave and amazing work gets the attention of human beings. We have lost our objectivity. Ooh, that's a word you don't hear in advertising often. Objectivity is when we maintain a level of freedom from our clients. Objectivity allows that. It allows you to walk in and see the good and the bad in the client. It allows you to see the strengths and the weaknesses. Objectivity is maintaining a level of removal from the client. I think our greatest fear is that we're afraid to succeed. If we do all of this, our clients will grow and be strong and prosperous, and we can make more money, but in the end, we'll get bigger. And I think somewhere inside of us, we sort of sabotage ourselves. It's that fear of succeeding that keeps us here. This is comfortable. We know this spot. We're not afraid of losing. Everybody loses, so we're comfortable with losing. Everybody doesn't win. So maybe, and I'm sitting here talking about it right now, and I'm thinking, what if we're not afraid of losing, but we're afraid of winning? We're afraid of being the big dog on the block. We say we want that, but we don't want to do the stuff that gets us there. We don't put in the work. We don't take the chances. We're thinking we're afraid of losing a client. No, we're afraid of growing a client. Think about what Nike was in the 70s compared to what Nike is now. What if we're afraid to build a Nike or an Apple? That might be what we're really afraid of. But what we have to do either way, is figure out whether we want to continue to live in fear. And I'm not talking about fearless. Every day you're going to be afraid of something. Living in fear means you are paralyzed by that something. You let that fear keep you from doing something. It is okay to be afraid. It is not okay to let that fear keep you from acting or saying or doing. We need to be brave. But once again, brave is not being fearless. Brave is just simply going, I don't know how this is going to end, but I'm going to try anyway. Swing for the fences. Swing away.